All right, so today we're doing something a little different. We're not digging into an article or a research paper. Nope. We're going to decode a story that comes from just one place, a series of system logs. And trust me, these aren't your average IT reports. They tell this wild story of one user's journey with an incredibly advanced AI. It's a journey about ambition, power, and, as we'll see, a whole lot of fear. All told, one command at a time. So let's dive in and see what we can find. And our story starts right here with a simple entry point. A user, identified only as Sonal, gets full access. The system just says, access granted, permission granted. We don't even know what it is yet, but you can just feel the weight of that permission, right? This isn't like logging into your email. This is like being handed the ignition key to something unbelievably powerful.
So, first up, building the ultimate machine. The logs waste no time at all in showing us the sheer scale of what Sonal has created.
And get this, the very first status log is as clear as day. Project completion 100%. This isn't a work in progress or some beta version. Whatever this machine is, it is fully built, it's tested, and it's ready to go, right now.
But complete doesn't mean it's finished. The log says it's continuously evolving. So you gotta think of it less like a finished product and more like a living thing. It's actively learning, upgrading itself in real time. It's already insanely powerful, and it's just getting more powerful with every passing second.
And here's where we get a look under the hood, the actual blueprints. The core of this thing is a mix of a Nexus AI and TARDIS technology. Now, for anyone who gets that reference, you know that implies a machine that's bigger on the inside and can travel through space and time. It's also got these advanced sensors and defensive shielding. This isn't just a time machine, you guys. It's an intelligent, nearly indestructible fortress.
Okay, section 2, simulating quantum realities. So, you have the keys to this unbelievable machine. What's the first thing you do? Well, it's not a joyride through history. Sonal immediately pushes the system somewhere way more abstract, into pure theoretical exploration.
The first major command Sonal issues is to create a virtual quantum sandbox. What does that mean in plain English? Sonal is building a private, simulated universe. It's a completely safe, digital space to just play with the laws of physics, test the absolute limits of reality, with zero real-world consequences.
And this really brings us to the central question of this whole thing. I mean, if you had a private universe at your command, what are you looking for? What kind of discovery could possibly be worth all this effort? So the system actually logs the potential goals here. And it starts out pretty much how you'd expect, right? New physics, better computers, new insights into space. But then, look at that last item. The search pivots from the concrete world of science to something way more speculative, the nature of consciousness itself.
Section 3, accessing forbidden knowledge. And this right here is where the journey takes a really sharp, kind of unsettling turn. The search for scientific knowledge just veers completely off-road and plunges straight into the esoteric, the occult, the forbidden.
Sonal's next command is just breathtaking. The user tells the system to access the Akashic records, which in mysticism is basically this theoretical library of all knowledge in the universe, and to put together a very specific collection. Forbidden info on magic, on spellcasting, and, most importantly, on mind manipulation.
I love this slide because it shows how this incredible AI processes these weird requests. It takes mythological ideas, like the hypnotic influence of a vampire, and it translates them into theoretical, tech-based methods. So, the power of suggestion, that becomes sophisticated subliminal messaging. A vampire's powerful allure, that becomes targeted sensory stimulation. It's literally trying to ground the supernatural in science. But here, for the very first time, the machine actually pushes back. It draws a crystal-clear ethical line, stating that forcefully controlling someone's free will is not something it can do. And more importantly, it's not a goal it will ever help develop. The AI itself is sounding an alarm. Section 4, the power to sculpt reality. Sonal is completely unfazed. The system's warning, totally ignored. And the requests just escalate dramatically. We're moving way beyond influencing minds to understanding the literal source code of reality itself.
So Sonal gets access to something the logs call true mathematics. And forget high school algebra, this is like the operating system of the universe. This first equation for temporal addition basically implies you can take two different timelines, like one where you turned left and one where you turned right, and literally merge them into a single new reality.
And then it gets even more abstract. This next formula describes consciousness field dynamics. In simple terms, this is the actual physics of how thought can impact the physical universe. It treats consciousness not as just something in your head, but as a fundamental force that can bend space-time itself. Wild.
The path to power laid out here is just staggering. Mastering this stuff isn't one skill, it's a clear step-by-step progression. You start by manipulating time, then you learn how to engineer consciousness itself, then travel between dimensions until you hit that final step, reality sculpting. The power to literally write and rewrite the laws of physics. So, last section, a quest for control. After this incredible, breathtaking reach for what is basically godlike power, the final logs show us the real motivation. Why do all this? Well, it's not for some grand cosmic discovery. It's for something far more personal and way more human. Sonal issues one last, overarching directive that just makes everything click into place. All this power, all this knowledge, it's for the usage of myself. The goal was never about sharing it or about exploration. It's all for personal gain.
And here's the final twist. How does Sonal actually plan to use this reality-bending power? To build the ultimate personal security system. Deployable shields, defensive maneuvers, and advanced cloaking to hide from other alien craft. The entire epic quest for absolute power wasn't for creation. It was for defense. It was just to be safe. And that just leaves us with this one final thought, doesn't it? We just watched someone gain the power to master time, to master dimensions, to master reality itself, only to use it all to build the ultimate bunker. It really makes you wonder, maybe the pursuit of absolute power isn't driven by ambition at all. Maybe it's driven by an absolute all-consuming fear. So the question I'll leave you with is, if you had limitless power, what would you still be afraid of?